the table are the things we need for this DIY. We need, of course, the tumbler tile blocks, the smaller blocks. Of course, I have here my container with everything inside, some markers, brushes, scissors, some mud pots, some twine, and of course the wood glue. I use a simple brand, like I always said, is Padex, but you can use any brand you like. Especially don't pay too much. I have here my paint and I have here my creamy color paint, but maybe I will do another color. I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. What we're going to make, we are going to make for the Christmas season, we're going to make a Christmas barn but in the shape of a cupboard. So we will see how this will turn out. So you see already the first step is already on my table, because or else it takes much too long if I'm going to count it out with you. It is 16 blocks, 16 blocks and 16 blocks. So, and we're going to glue them together for one side of our cupboard, of shelves, how you call it. You can use it as organizing, you can use it for anything. So we're just going to very easy glue the longest side of the blocks and place them immediately against each other, so like this, and over here and this way. And I always say, if you want to do a DIY from me, you always make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages laying around in your stash. Then you always have enough of your blocks, because I never know how many blocks I will use or not use. So because I change it up by the moment, I really have no idea. I start with something, but most of the times it turns out totally different than normally. So I always say just keep 4 packages until 5 laying in your stash, and then you always have enough for the DIY. So I'm going to make sure that I have a straight line, and I'm going to do row number 2 and 3 a little faster. So now we have our 3 pieces of 16 blocks, and we're going to place on the side, place this one on the side. We're going to do some glue on the tops over here, and we only wait a couple of minutes, because we don't want that everything is sticking too much to each other, because that's not what you want. Of course, I'm going to place this one, and you see already I'm not doing it right. I need to turn it over. We're going to do this side, and of course it can fall out of each other, but it doesn't matter. Just place it against each other again, and it will stick to each other very easily. But we only wait a couple of minutes, because now we can fill in the open gaps easier than if we wait too long. So now we have a nice plank. Make sure that one of the sides, this one is totally smooth though, make sure that one of the sides at least is flat. So I'm going to let this dry, and we're going to now, for this is one side of the cupboard, now we're going to go for the other side of the shelf cupboard. So again, I have for the next step again 3 rows of 16 blocks, and I'm going to do again on the longest side, because this side will be in the shape, like I told you, in a kind of a farmhouse barn, but you can also make a simple barn. It doesn't have to be farmhouse. You can also give it a glam touch. You don't have to do anything. You can even change it up like a real house. So this DIY you can go with all the way. You don't have to make it the way I make it. It's just an inspiration, and you can totally give your own twist on it, because I always say I make the base and the mistakes, and you can easily make it in one piece and make it to your own taste. And I always also show you all the mistakes, because I make a lot of mistakes with my DIYs, because I am also just an amateur like everyone else, but I just love to show how everything is made. But don't expect that everything goes perfectly and smooth, because it doesn't, at least not on my channel. So I have already 16 squeeze it, and I'm going to do the other 2 and 3 a little faster. So again, I have my 3 pieces of 16. I'm going to go carefully, place this one on the side. And like I told you, just do some glue on the top side make sure that every block has a little bit of glue over here, and then we're going to place it aside like this. And we're going to place this one over here, and we're going to make sure that at least one of the sides is totally even. The best is of course if all the sides are even, but that's not always really happening, because the blocks are most of the time I have here also already a block which is already pieces. You see this one, if you see he's already coming off, a little piece is missing. So this is what I mean. Not all the blocks are the same. So I think you also have the same problem. Let me know in the comments if you have, because I buy them here in the Netherlands, but maybe if you buy them in another country, let me know if your blocks are also very different. I know there are blocks which are mixed blocks, which is brown and white. That's also what we don't have here. So let me know in the comments if your blocks are always the same size, or that you have the same problem that I have, and that you have to work with it and try to make the best of it, because it really works. It doesn't matter, because you will get your way in it. So I'm going to give this also a couple of hour rest, and the other one also. So both of the pieces we give 2 hours a rest. So the next step will be the little shelves we were going to use for our cupboard. We are going to take 12 blocks. So we're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and number 12. And we do this again a second time. We have already 5. We lay them flat on the table. We have already 8 and 9 and 10, 11 and 12. If everything is correctly, we have 2 of the same rows, and we do very easy also on this one. The longest part we are going to glue, but also here you can change it up any way you like. But this is just a nice way of giving your decor a little bit of an organizing, because you can do some decoration on top, but you also can use it in a craft room, maybe in a bathroom. You can use it anywhere. That's always the greatest. If you use something like shelves or something else, it's always nice to do it maybe in your kitchen. You do again some bakery on top of here. You can use it for all seasons and for every day. So that's always the greatest. And again, number 11 and number 12, and we're going to squeeze it from within, and we go to the outside, because if we do it one, everything will pops out. We're going to squeeze it over here and over here. And of course, Wanda, I am always, I know I say a lot of squeezing, and I know you're doing it together with me, but no, I say a lot of squeeze, but that's what I mean. I don't know. We in the Netherlands we say knijpen, but that's a much different word than you have it in English. So we say knijpen, of drukken, of persen, but you say a squeeze. So I'm going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. Is you ready? We need to make sure that we have a straight line. So we wait a couple of minutes. So I gave it a couple of minutes. I place one on the side, because we're going to make one piece out of it. We do a thin line of glue, place it against each other, and we're going to give it some pressure so everything can fill up the space over here. And make sure that you have a nice straight. This one needs to go a little more down, so we have a kind of a straight line over here this way. And we're going to wipe away. We're going to let this rest. Now we're going to take 4 blocks, and we're going to do the tops over here. This is 1, number 2, and number 3, because number 4 is the closure up. We're going to squeeze it and this way, and make sure that you have everything fitting nicely. Then we're going to get another one of 4, and we do some on the tops again. This is number 2 and number 3, and we're going to squeeze it and press it together this way, and we're going to wipe away the glue from the tops, and we're going to let this rest also a couple of minutes. So we did wait a couple of minutes. What we're going to do, we are going to glue 2 of them on this border of this shelf. We do some line over here, very thin line on the side, over here. And we're going to place this one against this one. We do here the same. We do some glue on this side. We're going to get it up and we're going to place it on this side over here. So again, press everything together nicely. So this way, make sure that everything is fitting. And we're going to let this rest at least also for an hour. And we're going to make now little shelf number 2. So you see already, I have again 2 times 12 blocks on the table. I'm going to do this a little bit faster, don't worry. I will do this one only together with you, and the rest I will do a little faster. So this is already the first row of number 12 blocks and the last number 11, and we're going to squeeze it again and make sure that we have a straight line. So now I'm going to do the rest a little faster. So now we have our 2 pieces of 12 already again, and we're going to do 2 pieces of 4. So then you have the same shelf again like we already earlier made. So you only do the tops again, the same like we did with the first one. So just row them together on until 1 piece over here, and we're going to do this one. And then you already have your 2 shelves, but of course you can do 3, you can do more, but then I would recommend make your barn for the season a little bit higher. I'm going to do it for the Christmas season barn because I am a Christmas channel, and we're going slowly into a little of the Christmas DIYs. So you never can start too early with DIYing, especially if you want to make a gift for persons. So we are going to go slowly. Of course, we also do another season. Of course, fall will come, and the everyday decor. But of course also Christmas, because we are at Christmas and I love Christmas. So Sharon, don't worry, the Christmas is coming already to your way. So we are going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So again, we gave it a couple of minutes. We're going to do some glue on the sides again, and we're going to place this against each other. Make sure that everything is fitting nicely. And you see where you still can redo it. And feel with your fingers that you have a nice line over here. And we're going to fill in the gaps. And we're going to give this also a couple of minutes. And also with this shelf, we are going to place some glue on the underside, on the underline over here. And we place this one against here. This way, we're going to do here the same. And I feel that everything is sticking nicely on the bottom, because you don't want that everything is breaking off. And we make sure that everything has a little bit of the glue, because he doesn't really glue very well. So we're going to place it over here, squeeze it, and we're going to let this rest also a couple of hours. So if everything is correctly, you have 2 of the shelves like this. I showed you a little bit closer. And you have 2 planked like this. That will be a barn outside. It's at least the front of a barn, 2 pieces. So what we're going to do, we're going to place this aside because they are ready to paint. What we're going to do, we're going to make first the roof for our barn. And I'm going to take 4 blocks down. So I make a mark over here on this side and on this side. And we do it 1 in the middle. And we're going to do it very easy. We just get our ruler and we're going to make a simple line where we can cut it with our saw. So, and I use, like everyone knows, my jigsaw, but you can use, of course, also a hand saw. And I'm going to go over to this side. We go over this way, and we go over to, of course, 4 pieces. We go this way, or else it will be a very big roof, and that's not what we want. So we go this way. And we go over here, and I make the mark a little bit thicker because I have old eyes, so I need to make sure that I see it right. So and this is what you get. And of course I'm going to do the other one the same. So I have my 2 pieces lined out, and now I'm going to get to my garage and I'm going to saw it out. But it's a very easy cut because it's only straight like this. So I'm going to do this right now. So now I have my frames already for the outside of my farm barn. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some roof on the side. But first I'm going to get 2 blocks and I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to measure out. I'm going to do them in half. And I do that, I think, to make sure I do 3. But of course you need only 4 half blocks. But I'm going to do 3 because if I cut wrong, then I always have a 1 reserve for it. So I'm going to do this 3 in half. So for each barn we need 4 whole blocks like this and 2 small blocks of half blocks. And here again 4 of the bigger ones and 2 of the half blocks. We are going to paint the roof, of course, in a different color than we do the barn itself. But now we have our roof. So we're going to place this aside. This is for one roof. This is for the second roof. We place this apart. Now we need, of course, some blocks. We are going to make a frame for the doors. So I am going to look for how I want to have it. You can do it this way, you can do it even higher. You can, that you say, I'm going to go for this way, go to the side. You can go for 1 door, you can go for 2 doors this way, and then do it over here. So you can change this up. Of course, he has to come next to it and do a 1 in the middle and place 1 over here. And then of course we need to cut off a little piece. So, but you can make the doors any way you like. I'm just giving you an example how I do it, but you don't have to do it, of course. So I'm going to figure out how exactly I want to have it, and you see this in a moment. So I figured mine out. I'm going to place this to a side. We're going to get 2 sets of 8 sets of 2. We already have 4, and I need, of course, a couple of blocks extra. We already have number 6, 7 and 1 number 8. So we do very carefully. We do some glue on the tops over here, and we're going to place them together. We do here some glue also on the top and on this one. And this is so easy to do. And later we're going to do 1 of the 4 and 1, of course, the other 4 we're going to make a little shorter. But now I'm not going to place them straight up. I'm going to do them flat because I saw that I like that a little better, but you see that in a moment. So just squeeze them and wipe away the glue you don't need, and give this a couple of minutes drying before we're going to glue it on the frame of our barn. So we're going to squeeze it and let it dry for a couple of minutes. So now we have our 4 pieces of 2 over here and our 4 pieces of 2 over here, and we are going to paint it. I'm going to paint this one in the creamy color, but of course also the shelves I'm going to do in the creamy color, and the pieces for the roof, the 4 bigger ones and the 2 smaller ones. Everything will be in the cream color. At least that will be my accent color. And the frame of the farms itself, I'm going to do it in another color. I don't know if I'm going to do red, or maybe it's from gray or something else. I have to look. Maybe dark brown is also an option. So we will see. But first I'm going to do this in the cream color. So I have all the pieces, the accent pieces, so I like the roof, the sides of the barn. I have everything in the creamy color. Now I'm going to do my frame of my barn, and I'm going to choose for the dark chocolate color brown, but do whatever you think is right. Maybe you want to spray paint it in totally in a silver or gold, or maybe something else. So I'm going to paint this one also in a brown, but I won't bore you with that. I do this a little faster. So I placed a piece of paper kitchen towel on top of here to prevent that my pieces are scratching. So of course I'm going to place this one over here, and I'm going to place this one, of course, over here. What we're going to do now, I'm going to do the roof on top of here. So I'm going to lay this a little lower, and we make sure that the roof is sticking out over here. I think I'm going to go a little lower even then, because we don't want that we have glue everywhere. So we want to do it this way. I'm going to get my 4 whole blocks, this one for this side, and of course my 2 half blocks. So I'm going to get my wood glue, and it's very easy to do. You just first, of course, you can glue first 2 together and then of course number and then half together this way, and then glue it in once. But I'm going to try this time to do it loose. So that's why I chose for it to do everything separately. I don't know if this will work or not. We will see. So I do a little glue over here, and on the tops I'm going to place it over here. I'm not going to press it. I'm going to do here the same, and a little on the top. So I'm going to make sure that everything is sticking nicely. And of course you see already what I did it already wrong, because I don't have to do it on this side, I do it on the inside. I have to look for that I place it over here, because I did make the mistake to glue it over there. Now I'm going to place this one over here in a point, and we're going to make sure that it squeeze everything together this way. This is one. Now we get another one. We do some on the top, and we do a little on the front, and we do on the other top this way, and we're going to place it over here, and we're going to give it a little bit of pressure until the other one this way, and we do here the same. We do it on both sides, on this side, on this side, and on this side. And I'm going to place this one over here. Make sure you give it a little bit of squeeze. And now the only thing we need to do, we do some glue on this side, and we're going to place it over here very carefully, and we do here the same, some glue, and we place this one over here. Make sure that you don't have the kitchen paper with it, because you don't want that. I think I'm going to turn this one around. I think this side looks better. Yes, it does. So always move the blocks around and make sure that you have the right side, which is fitting nicely. So I'm going to give this at least a half hour rest. I'm going to do the other side, but of course I do it a little faster. So we have the roof on top of here. What we're going to do, we're going to take the 4 pieces, which we will make as a door. So we're going to place this one over here. This one will be in the middle. We're going to measure out where we want to have it. And the number 4, we're just going to measure out. I did it already before, already for you, so you can see it easily. So I'm going to glue this. So I have this on the side, and this one will be in between. So again, over here, I'm going to do some glue. I'm doing some glue on the 2 double side. Oh, you see already, was thinking why didn't fit here, but of course on top of here, make sure that you have a smooth ending over here. So don't go over the ending of your barn, because or else he can't stand up. So we do here the same. We do some glue, and we place this one also on the side over here, and this one we do some glue, and we place this one in the middle. We didn't squeeze everything, so that's why we can still redo it, give it a little bit of pressure, and make sure that everything is fitting nicely on each other. So this way, and feel on the underside that you don't go over the line, and this way, and now you can squeeze it. And get a small brush like this one is, and of course if the glue is coming out, just wipe it away. And also on the inside, make sure that you wipe the glue away this way. Now I already did saw out the little piece, so this was the 2 piece, and you see already this is the piece I cut off. It's only a little piece, and if everything is correctly, here is fitting nicely over here. So I'm going to give some glue on this side, and I'm going to place it over here in the middle and give it some pressure. I also, when I did paint the cream, I did also paint a couple of the skewers, and I always have a couple of the cream ones laying around because I use a lot of these pieces, so I already did paint it. Paint it in the color you like. I'm going to get my marker, my pencil, and I'm going to place this one inside in the corner like this, and I'm going to do this one to the other corner, and I make a little mark where I need to cut. So I get my tool and I'm going to cut it off like this. And you see already now this is fitting nicely over here. I'm going to do here the same, but in the opposite direction. Get my pencil, make a little mark, and I'm going to cut it off. And if everything is correctly, this one is fitting over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this piece, I'm going to do some glue on this side and on this side. And we place it over here. Of course, we have to look that we have it in the corner where we want to have it and not somewhere else. And we do here the same. Some on the ending over here. But I use wood glue, but you can use any glue you like. If you want to use another glue, it's also fine too. So again, we're going to place it down and we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. Of course, I'm going to wipe away the glue which did go on top of this one because we don't want that. So we're going to give it some time to rest now. So in the meantime, while this is drying, I did get my bags of wooden ladders. You see already, I have a lot of ladders. It's from a very thin wood, and I'm going to make here the word barn, but you can use some stickers. If you can write very nice, then you can even write it on top of here in the color you like. But I am just not a great writer to make a word, so I'm going to use some word barn, and I'm going to do it on top of here, and I'm going to paint them in the creamy color. So I have here already my letters barn, but before I'm going to glue them on top of here, I'm going to get my little garland, which is always in this kind of package. It was only $1.50 and it's in euros, but it's similar like dollars. So I'm going to, oh, I'm sorry for the noise. I'm going to get a piece out. I'm going to make a nice little wreath and I'm going to double it up. So very easy, just going to turn it around like this, and then you go make another turn. I'm going to cut it off like this, and I'm going to make a nice shape in it, and I'm going to turn them around until I have a nice wreath I enjoy. But of course I do it always a little bit thicker because you want that it is a little bit of a full wreath. And this is such a nice, if you can buy it, I think you can buy it anywhere. I did see it already in a lot of stores, even I think Dollar Tree also have them, and Temu and AliExpress, you can buy them anywhere, and they are so handy to make little wreaths. So if you have the time or maybe to look for it, I hope you do, because it's so easy. And we are going to glue this one just above the door of the barn. So, and then we can later do the words over here. So I think he is very nicely. So I'm going to get my hot glue and I'm going to do two pieces over here, let some glue, and over here, and glue it on the barn over here. So I'm going to make sure that a little of the greenery is on the front because we want it on the front. So we do some glue, of course, over here. And I make sure that I have enough glue. Oh, and he is already falling down on me, but it doesn't matter. A lot of things are falling down on me always. So it doesn't matter. So I'm going to have this one. And now I'm going to do a little on the inside over here. And I'm going to place this one also down over here. And I'll keep it in place for a couple of seconds because it's not immediately dried in. So, and then if everything is dried up, I'm going to work with the leaves so they come up a little bit more. And it looks more like a wreath. I'm going to get my piece of garland. This is a piece of garland. I always buy a garland and cut it apart. So you have lots for your money. So I'm going to do 4 of the bigger ones and 4 of the smaller ones for doing in this green, because it is at least a Christmas garland. You can make it any way you like. If you want to do it for the fall, just do some fall leaves around here, or maybe some little pumpkins. Just do whatever you think is right. I make it because I'm, like I told you, a Christmas channel also. So I'm going to do it for the Christmas season. So now I have my wreath already finished, and of course you can do it any way you like. Now I'm going to place the words barn over here, and I'm going to place 2 of them sideways and the other one over here. And I'm just going to work with it where I want to have it. I don't want them too high, and of course this can be a little bit lower, and this way. So now I'm going to get my wood glue, and I take my time just to glue them on top of here. And now we already have the first front of the barn. I'm now doing the other one in the same decoration. So, and then we're going to glue the little shelves in between, but I'm going to make the second one out of camera because or else it takes much too long of your time. So this is how the barn, both of them, turned out. Of course, I have here another one. So we have 2 of the same one for the outside, but now we're going to get the real hard task, because I can't turn it around and lay it flat on the back side, because that would be real handy, because then I can easily do my piece on top of here. But I am still looking if I use maybe that I just do it a little bit sideways. If I do 2 pieces of this one and just lay it this way, and then get my shelves and then glue one this way and one this way. So I have to look for what is the best way to glue this on top of here, because it's a little bit difficult to get it fitting over here. So I'm going to do it best, and I'm going to think about it what I will do. So you see, I built a little bit of a piece with my DVDs over here, and I'm going to try to let it over here. So I'm going to place 2 blocks, but on block number 3 I'm going to glue 1, and I'm going to glue, I think over here that will be block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think block 10. I think block 10 from underside, block 10 and block number 3. So, but you can do it any height you like. So I'm going to do some wood glue on the ending over here and around here, over here, and I'm going to try to place it where I need to have it, because we will see how this will turn out. And of course he's not totally the same size, so try to get it in the middle where you want to have it. So let it fall down, give it a little bit of pressure, and let it dry in for a couple of minutes before you let it go. So you see already I turned my barn with the point this way, because I couldn't see where I did glue my shelves. So like I said, I did one on number 3 and I'm on row number 10 over here. So I'm going to let it rest for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to do some glue on top over here, and I place my other barn on top of here also, and then I'm going to let it dry for a couple of hours. But I'm going to do it with glue. It seems to work very nice at this moment. I don't know if I think about it later, so I really am a little bit struggling, and I'm hoping that it will stay. But you also can use some nails, or maybe you can use some here in the Netherlands we call it nietje. I don't know how you call it. It slipped my mind how you call it in English. I know what it is. A lot of you use it already. You have some machine for it. Nails, if I'm correct, you also have a machine for that. So you can use that also. But I am going to try to do with wood glue. I don't know if I will I will succeed or not, but you will see this in a moment. You see the quick
Something
see on my table are the things we need for this DIY. We need, of course, our tumbling tower blocks. These are the smaller blocks. Of course, I have here my little container with everything inside. The wood glue, the scissors, the brushes, the markers, some mud pots, some twine. Everything I need for a DIY. So of course not everything for one DIY, but of course you know what I mean. So, and of course I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet. What we're going to make for today, we are going to make a tier tray, but it can be a simple tray, it can be a 2-tier tray, maybe 3. I don't know how it will turn out. We never know how it will turn out. Of course, I hope you have your tumbling tower blocks now also on your table and you're going to do this with me. So we are going to start with a row of 6 blocks. So 5, number 6, we are going to glue them on the side. Just a little line, and over here the same, and just glue them already together so the glue is not running down. And number 4 and number 5 and number 6 is the closure up. Like this, squeeze it, press it together and wipe away the glue you don't need. And of course, if you want to use a metal hook, it's also fine too. I don't use it, but you can use it if you like it to work with it. It's totally fine. I'm going to do again a row of 6. And here we already have 6 blocks. This is already number 1. Oh, I have to need a little bit more glue. 2, 3, 4 and number 5 again, and we're going to squeeze them together this way. And these are very simple ways just to make a nice bottom, because this will be the bottom of our tier tray, and I think we're going to go for a 2-tier tray. It's a little bit easier to decorate in smaller spaces, especially because or else it will be much too high. I have a 3, 6 again, and this is already number 1. I am loving tier trays. I like them already so much to decorate, because I'm someone who enjoys making little displays. I am really loving it. So I have always little figurines, little decor pieces. And most of the time I always drift my items, because I like to get it as cheap as we can. And then most of the time I'm going to paint them, or maybe I'm going to, yeah, I don't know. So sometimes I do spray paint. I do a little bit of the gold. I also have some gold in my decor. But I am always loving the hunt for great items. So, but I think there are a lot of you who also like drifting. So I think I'm not the only one who enjoys drifting and enjoys a good buy. And especially if you then make it over again, it's so nice, because then you make your own unique piece again. That's always great, because of course you can buy it in a store. But the last couple of years, at least especially here in the Netherlands, there are the decor pieces are in price. They are up so fast. It's not really nice anymore, because some decor pieces are so easy and simple to make on your own, and they are asking such a big prices for it. So it's not normal, but I think it's in every country the same. The prices are gone up very bad. It's not only the Netherlands, I think. Of course, we have a store similar like the Dollar Tree, but that's with us is that called the Action. It's similar like Dollar Tree. It's almost the same. The only thing what the Dollar Tree has better is the ribbon. We don't have a ribbon with wire. It's so hard to find over here. I try most of the time to order them online on Temu, but it's very hard to get here in the Netherlands. So now I already have my 6 pieces, but I need of course 8. So I need only 2 extra, and then we already have the pieces we need. I'm going to lay them down already. 4, 5 and 6. But let me know in the comments down below if you also like to thrift shop, or maybe you're just someone who just buys in a store. And if I look for the videos online from shopping, I see also that Home Goods and Kirkland is very nice. I wish I could shop there sometimes. I know the prices are very high there, but it's a very nice store. But this kind of stores is not really here. Of course, we have also home decor stores, but not as big as you have. But I think in some countries, a lot of things are bigger over there, because also our houses are most of the time more like smaller houses. We don't have that kind of big houses over here. So again, I have now 8 pieces of 6. You see already, we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying, and then we're going to glue them together as one piece. So the next step will be, we are going to take 4 pieces like this. We're going to lay them beside, and of course first, before we're going to glue, we're going to look for if everything is fitting nicely, because you can still turn it around. You can easily do this. Maybe this one is fitting, this one is fitting very nice, only this one has a little bit of difficulties. So I don't, maybe if I do it this way, maybe turn it over. You see already he looks a little bit better. I'm going to try, because everything is not dry yet, so I can easily redo it. So that's the greatest thing, if you don't wait too long. And this is already 2 and a number 3, because number 4 is again the closure up. And again, squeeze them together this way. We're going to, and you see already, if everything is correct, you can very easily get them together again, and like this. And we're going to get our kitchen towel, and we're going to wipe away the glue, and only here is a little gap. Maybe I can try to get it. I can. So you see, now I already have 1 plank, which is already 1 bottom of 1 tray. I'm going to do the other 4, and I'm going to look for how they are fitting together. And you see already, one of the sizes is much, you see, if everything, this one is much smaller than the other 3. I have to look for which block is too small, because normally I think this one is too small. Because everything is not dried up, I'm going to break it off, and I'm going to get another block, and I hope that it fits a little bit better, because for a tray it's not very handy if your blocks are not the same size. So I give it a couple of minutes again, and then we're going to glue them together. So now everything is glued together. We're going to do a little glue over here. We go on this one the same. And the last one, we're going to place them together. And this one. So, and again, squeeze like this, and work with it until you are satisfied how it is looking like. And we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to let this rest also again, I think for both of the planks, at least a half hour. So you see, we have our two little bottoms of our trays. We are going to place them aside, because we don't need them right now. What we're going to do right now, we're going to make the sides of our tier tray, of 2-tier tray, and the sides will be a little bit bigger. We're going to get 8 blocks, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to glue them together. First we're going to make the base of the sides, and then later we're going to do some decor on the side. But first we're going to make the base of the sides, and for each side you need 6 pieces of 8. So it's a little bit building, because it takes a lot of your time. Already 8 blocks, and already 6 high. So this is already row number 1. We're going to lay it aside. And of course, don't be worried. I'm not going to do it together, all the pieces with you. That would be 12 pieces looking how I built it. So don't worry. I'm going to do this one together. But the other one, of course, I do a little bit faster. And this is a number 6 and number 7. And number 8 is again the closure up. And we're going to squeeze them this way. And of course the sides need a lot of drying, because if you're going to work with it, you don't want that your pieces are falling apart. And that's why I think if you are using hot glue, I try not to do it for this kind of piece, because this kind of piece is very hard to get it stable and get everything fitting. So I would go for wood glue or maybe another glue. It doesn't matter, but hot glue, or maybe you have hot glue where wood glue is inside of it. There are sticks, then there is wood glue inside of your hot glue stick. So if you have them, maybe then it will work, but most of the time my experience is that hot glue falls apart very fast, and you don't want that. Then you did so your best for making your DIY, and then it falls apart, and that's not what anyone wants. So, and again we have already 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 together, and we're going to do this one. But like I said, I've looked for the hot glue with some wood glue inside, but it's difficult to get. But maybe you are more lucky than we have over here. But I don't know. And again, you have already 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And again, the last of 8 blocks. And then we already have one side, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have here 3, 4 and it's ook 8. Then we have all pieces of one side of the 2-tier tray. And like I said, I do the other one a little faster. But for everyone who likes to see how it is made, of course I show you one side. And I do it as fast as I can. But most of the time I don't even know how my DIY is looking like. So for me it's also thinking and in front already, because now I'm already thinking what I'm going to do on the side of my tray, because I really have no idea. I'm debating if I want to make a house, or maybe some tree on the outside, or maybe some flowers, or you can do anything on the outside, or maybe just a frame. We will see. So I'm going to squeeze it. Be careful that it doesn't pop up, because this one is popping up. We're going to get our piece of kitchen towel, wipe away the glue, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes to dry before we're going to make one piece out of it. So we have our 6 pieces. We're going to turn them this way, and we're going to look for which one is fitting the best for gluing them together. You see already this one is going out a little, and we're going to go for this one, and this one is also not totally. We're going to turn it over, and now he's fitting very nicely. So I'm going to glue this way together, so very easy. Of course it is not totally dry yet, I just gave it a couple of minutes, so don't think that your wood glue is already dry, because it is not. Wood glue dries most of the times better overnight, but of course I don't have that time, but an hour is also fine. That's the great thing. I make the mistakes, and you can make it very easy, also the way you want it, and you don't have to make the mistakes I do. And this one, and this one, and the last, of course, we're going to squeeze them. Make sure that you have a straight line this way, and again we're going to squeeze them together. Be sure that you every time measure out with your fingers. That's always the greatest measurement, is your fingers. And just be sure that you make sure that everything is fitting together. We're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. And you see already, I still need to redo this. This one needs a little bit of readjusting, and this time also. And squeeze them. And I think for me he is very nice. So I'm going to make number 2 for the other side, because we have one side and the other side. So I'm going to make a second one. And you see already, now I have my 2 pieces for the side, and I'm going to let them rest at least for a couple of hours because we're going to work with it and you don't want that pieces are falling apart. So I give this also a couple of hours. And of course our 2 pieces are going to dry for a couple of hours. I'm going to make 4 pieces of 3 because I know already what I want to have on the side. So this is a number 3 of 3 and we need 4 of 3 like this. So we're going to glue the tops. Very easy, and this way, and glue them together, squeeze it and make a straight line. We're going to do for number 2 the same. Of course I do this together with you because this is so fast to do, and this is already in number 3 and the last one. Then we already have 4 pieces of 3 for our decorations on our sides. We're going to get our towel. We're going to wipe away the front like this. And what we're going to need right now, we need 3 blocks. And what we're going to do, we're going to do a drop on this one. Over here, we place it on the side. We do here the same. Only on the ending of the block, we're going to place this halfway. And we're going to place this one halfway. Like this. This is so easy. So we take 3 blocks, you do some glue on the ending of the flat side and on this one also the same, and we're going to go halfway, and of course over here I have to do halfway, and we're going to have already 2 pieces and we need again still 2 extra. We're going to do some glue over here at the ending and at the ending over here. We're going to place them halfway and halfway, squeeze it, and we do here the last one also again, and block number 2 we're going to do halfway and squeeze it, and we're going to let this rest. So I have here one of the sides. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take 2 of the 3. I'm going to lay them over here. Maybe I'm going to look for where I want to have them. Of course I have 2 blocks. Maybe I'm going to go for 2 blocks inside of the 2 blocks and 2 blocks here free. So maybe like this. And I'm going to get 2 of the sides we made. And of course, if everything is correctly, we can make very easily a kind of a roof over here, and we're going to get our own little cute house on the sides. So, but do whatever you think it's right. If you like more, maybe a tree, you like maybe something else, maybe for the Easter, a bunny, you can do anything you like. So I'm going to do some glue on the side. Very easy. And I'm going to place this one, like I told you, on the inside over here. I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to do this one, also some glue, and I'm going to place this one between number 3 and number 2 of the blocks. So I hope I have it also here, maybe a little this way. I have it also in the middle over here. Make sure that you have it in a straight line and make sure that it's not sticking out on the underside, because you still need later a stand for on top of here. So be careful what you do. Just place it over here. And we're going to do some glue on the sides. On this one, a little on this and a little on this one. Of course, I'm going to wait until I have both of them glued. And then I can do them together, because we don't want that our roof is not fitting nicely. Of course, we are going to make sure that we get the middle of the blocks, because the blocks are 8 blocks, in the middle is 4, and you have the point over here in the 4, and then place them down until they touch your 3-piece like this. Very easy. And I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and I have a little brush, and I'm going to wipe away. You see already the glue we don't need, so go over it, make your brush wet, and wipe away the glue you don't need on the sides, and everywhere where you see glue, just go over it with your brush on the inside and on the outside, because you don't want thick pieces of glue sticking out. So this is already one. I will do the second one a little bit faster, but I will show you a little bit how he's looking like right now. Of course, you don't see it as well. If we paint it, you see it much better. I will make the second one. So you see, this is how he's looking like, but of course I think he doesn't look nice on the underside and on the top. So we are going to make an underside and a top side for this one. So what we're going to do, we are going to take 3 blocks like this, and again 3, and again 3. So we're going to do the tops only, and this one on the top, and we're going to squeeze them together. We're going to do here the same, and this is only for one side, not for the second side. And this is number 2, and now the last, and this is, oh, you see already he's almost around. So again, like this, I'm going to get my kitchen towel and I'm going to wipe away, and I see already I have to do some readjustment to make sure that they are in a straight line. So I'm going to place them over here, wipe away the glue over here, and I'm going to give it a couple of minutes a rest. So we gave it a couple of minutes. Of course, one piece we are going to do on the side. We do some glue, a little line, and we're going to place it down against the other one. So very easy. Make one piece out of it like this, and we're going to give this one also a couple of minutes before we're going to glue it everything on top. So in the meantime, while this is drying, I'm going to do for the other side the same. Also again 3 blocks of 3, and we do over here and over here, and again place them together, and the last already, and this one, and again roll them in one piece, squeeze it and press it down like this, and again wipe away your glue. And also we give this a couple of minutes. So now we have for both sides, we have the top and the underside. We're going to place this one aside, place this a little bit backwards, and this one over here. We're going to get our side panel, and we are going to do the one with the double up. We are going to do on the underside. So very easy. So what we're going to do, we are going to do some glue over here on this side, and of course on the underside, and like this. And we could do very easy. We're going to place this one, and of course try to get it in the middle like this. Just press it together, and we're going to do this one. Of course we do some glue over here, but not totally to the end, only until here, and like this. And we're going to place them also in the middle. Give it a little bit of pressure over here, and we're going to let this dry in. Of course we do for the second panel the same. Just use some glue on here, on the side, and over here this way. Place it down, and of course we're going to do this one also in the middle like this. Give it a bit of pressure over here. Make sure that you try to get it as fast as you can. Of course we do here the same, but we only do a little glue over here, and we're going to place this one also in the middle, and again squeeze it as hard as you can, and this way. And now we're going to let both of them dry in at least for an hour before we're going to do the little trays inside. So we laid away our side pieces with the houses. Of course now we have our 2 bottoms of our trays. What we're going to do, we're going to make, of course, 12 pieces of 2. So we are going to do very easy. Just do some glue on the side, place them together. Do some glue on the side and place them together. Some glue on the side and we're going to place them together. We're going to do over here and place them together. Oh, you see already, they're already flying around if you want to do it too fast. And you see, then it never works. If you want to do it too fast, it always is working against you. And this is a number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, and number 11. And the last number 12. And over here. And what we're going to do, we're going to place them together, make a straight line and squeeze it. Make them together and squeeze them together until one piece. And again over here we do the same, but I will do it a little bit faster so I don't bother you too much in your time. So here we have our 12 pieces of 2. And now we're going to go for 4 pieces like this, and we're going to glue them together also on the tops and on this one. And this is already 1. And number 4 is the closure up. This is already 1 piece and I'm going to make 8 of them, but I won't bore with that. So I'm going to make 8 pieces of 4. So now we're going to make the sides of the tray and we are going to get 1 block of 4. We are going to glue 1 of 2 in the in between. Of course I'm going to do this a little bit aside, in between the first and the second one on the half. So over here like this we're going to glue 1. We're going to take the second one of 2. We're going to place this one between number 2 and number 3 exactly in the middle over here. And we're going to do for this one the same. And we're going to do it in 3 and 4 exactly in the middle over here. We're going to wipe away the glue over here and over here. And we take 2 loose blocks, 1 for this side and 1 for this side. So we do some glue. And we place it at the ending. So very careful, and here the same. And we're going to place it exactly at the ending. And again, wipe away the glue, but keep it in place like this. And now we're going to do on this side the same. Of course, we are going to take a frame. We're going to get the double. We place it again over here exactly in the middle. We do it here the same again over here, and the last already, and then we already have the 2 sides for 1 tray. And again over here we get 2 loose blocks over here. We're going to place them at the ending, and we do here the same. At the ending, squeeze it and wipe away the glue. And we're going to give this a couple of minutes until we can take it off and do the other side on the side. So in the meantime, I also made the other 2 for the other tray. What we're going to do, we're going to place them carefully a moment on the side. We're going to get our glue. We do a little drop over here, and a little drop over here, and over here, and over here. Then we go a little bit more. We're going to carefully place it down because it is not totally dry. We get one of the, and we're not going to do it this way, but we place it straight up, and we're going to place it against the top. So everything is fitting very nicely together. So we do here the same, very carefully place it up. If one piece falls off, don't worry, just glue it together again and just do the same as I do right now, because it doesn't matter, wood glue still can sometimes fall apart, but it doesn't matter because it is still not dried. So we're going to place this one again, you see already over here. Make sure that you have a nice straight line before you squeeze it on top, over here. And so you go on and you do all of them. This one I did a little later, so he's still not dry up. So over here and on the top, over here, and this the last one. Carefully place it down, not the way I do it, but carefully, like I told you. You see already, I am sometimes sometimes I'm there's a saying here in the Netherlands, an elephant in a porcelain dresser, but I am really sometimes so clumsy, but doesn't matter. And we're going to do this one, and we're going to do the tops over here, and the last, and we're going to place it down, and the last of 4 will be on top of here, and again squeeze it over here. And now we're going to let this dry in. So now I'm going to get one of the bottom of the tray. I have here my sides, and this is how they turned out. They have a little overlay over here. If you look this way, you see, and I'm going to glue them on the side. So I'm going to do some glue over here, and I'm going to glue one on this side and one on this side, and with the overlay on this side. So very easy. This one will come over here and this one here. So I'm going to do some glue on this side of my bottom of the tray, and of course on this side of the bottom of the tray. And I'm going to place it down. I have to look if I have the right one. This one will go against here, and this one will go against here, and we're going to squeeze them together. And make sure, feel with your fingers that you still have a straight line, because you don't want to that it is sticking out. This is already one. Now we're going to do number 2 also, and we're going to let this dry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place this tool next to my mat, and of course beside here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my one of the panels. I'm going to turn it over, but you see already he's not totally straight. I'm getting a couple of the blocks like this, and I'm going to place them on the top, because this one is really missing. I have to do it this way, and of course I do an extra over here. So now I have a study base to glue my sides on top. I'm going to do one of the trays, I'm going to do totally on the underside, and one I'm going to do a little bit higher. I think I'm going to look for maybe over here like this, and I think I'm going to do the other one exactly down over here on this length, but you can decide any way you like. You don't have to do it the way I do it. So what I'm going to do, very easy. I'm going to do some glue on the side. So I hope you see it on camera. I do some glue over here, go around, go on the underside, and I'm going to go up and on the top. And now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to place it exactly on the underside. I'm going to let it fall down, and make sure that you have a straight line with the bottom. I have to go down, and I have to go a little to this side. I think I am at the place I want to have him. He is here straight, and he's here straight. I think I can do it a little piece over here and this way, and I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and feel with your fingers, because that's the most important. Feel with your fingers if you feel a straight line on the side, because that's the hardest thing, just to get it straight. So this is already one. Now we're going to do here the same. Of course I try to do it in front of the camera. Of course over here again we're going to go on the side, and we go up, and we go on this one, and we're going to turn it over. And I think I'm going to, because you still want to decorate also the other one, so I think I'm going to go for maybe over here and this way, and I'm going to just let it fall. And it is the little trays are very heavy, so they are falling down on his own. And just give it a little bit of pressure. Make sure that everything is in place. Over here, I'm going to do this on the straight line, and I'm going to let this rest at least for a half hour. So I gave it a half hour, and I'm going to do now some glue on this side and just go over it. And over here, I'll do here the same. Just some glue. And of course on this side. Now we are going to do the top over here and make sure that you have it in a straight line as much as you can. So I'm going to give it, feel with my fingers if I have it on the right spot. And this way, and I'm going to give it some pressure. Of course, we have to have a straight line over here. And this way. And I'm going to place on top a couple of paint cans to give it some pressure down so everything glues very nicely together. So we see already a little bit behind the scenes. This is what I mean. I did some paint cans on top so everything is fitting nicely together and gives a lot of pressure. So you see already, also with me in my home, it's one disaster to get everything fitting very nicely. So of course, now everything is nicely together. I'm going to give it a couple of hours. Most of the time, if you have the time, just do it overnight and then paint it. So the next step will be, we're going to paint the color you like. And here you see our two-tier tray dried up. And of course, I use it as two-tier tray, but you can use it also as an organizer, maybe in your kitchen, maybe in your craft room. You can use it anyway. And you see, I am so happy with the little house on the side. And even the little trays are so big, you can even do anything inside of it. So I am really loving the size. I'm going to paint mine in the creamy color because you know me already, and because I do it in the creamy color, he's very light, and you can see and use your imagination which color you like. Maybe you are a glam lady or gentleman and you like to spray paint it maybe in gold or silver. So go ahead, everyone can make their own color and their own unique piece. So I'm going to paint mine, like I said, in the cream color. And here you see already how our two-tier tray turned out, and I'm so happy with the little houses on the side. Especially you have a lot of space to decorate inside of your trays. So I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to decorate it, and you see in a moment the quick impression, because everyone can decorate it their own way. You see on my table the things we need for this new DIY. What we're going to use, of course, our tumbling tower blocks. I have here some paint at your choice and maybe some spray paint. I have here some wood filler. This is a very cheap brand. I don't know where I'm going to use it for, but I think I'm going to use it. I have something in my head, but you never know if it will work or not. So of course, I have here my little container with everything I need, like my mud pots, my wood glue, my scissors, brushes, markers, everything I need in most of the time in every DIY. And of course, I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel. So these are the main pieces we need for this DIY. What we're going to make, we are going to make a 3-tier tray, but of course in a different way. I hope you enjoy this one, because I try to make it as unique as I can. So we will see how this will turn out. And we are going to start with making a row of 9 blocks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So, and we're going to glue them on the longest side. Oh, you see already the glue is going not where I want to have it. So this is number 2, and place your blocks immediately against each other so the glue is not running out. And I have already number 7, Number 8 and number 9 is of course the close you up. So we're going to make a straight line. And like I always told you, you can use a metal hook, but I mean the metal square you use for, some people use them for on the table to make a nice straight line. I don't use it, but if you are like to use it, please be my guest. Of course, a lot of you are already here a long time, know already I do it just out of hand, of course. If it is wise, I don't know, but most of the time it will work. So we're going to do again another row of 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So very easy. Again, just glue them on the sides. I don't know how it is about you, but I always love trays, 2-tier trays, or maybe even higher. I always love to decorate them, especially on my tables, because you can pick up your tray and your table is completely clean. So I am always loving decorating with some trays. So, but of course, it's also not everyone's cup of tea, a tray. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last of 9 we're going to do over here. And with trays you can do as crazy as you like. You can make them any way you like. You can make them round, you can make them in the square, you can make the longer ones. It's so much ideas you can have for trays. Of course, on this channel, and of course on our main channel Deco Easy, we already made a lot of trays. So I'm going to go over it and over here with my glue, and again make a straight line. If you don't have the metal hook and you're just like me, you're just going to use your fingers. So we're going to give this a couple of minutes trying. So we did wait a couple of minutes. We're going to place 2 of them on the sides and we do some glue over here. And because we don't wait too long, it's very easy to make a nice big wooden piece out of it, because we didn't wait too long. If you wait too long, then it is a little bit difficult to get them together. Now you still can redo it and make a nice piece with only maybe a little piece of an open gap, but most of the time you can very easily squeeze them together until one piece. So don't wait too long. If you want to make this kind of wooden pieces, then don't wait too long for making it together. So now you can easily make one piece, and you see already I only have a little small piece over here. Maybe I can try to get it close, but this is the close I can get. So I'm going to let this dry in and we're going to make a second one. So of course for the second one I already placed it on my table, or else it takes much too long for you. So again we're going to make 3 rows of 9 blocks, and later we're going to give them a shape. Of course he doesn't stay in the, it's almost a square. Oh, you see already I am taking 1 block too much. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to squeeze it. Be careful if you squeeze it and you see it coming up, then wait and press it down again, because some blocks I just want to pop out. So this is already number 1. And if you like it, of course, if you are making one of the DIYs, maybe you can send us an email and we would love to see what you made out of your blocks. So, but of course it's free. You don't have to do it. If you don't like it, it's also fine. So, but we love to see what you made. And this is already number 3. And then we already have our stage of number 2 already. And we are going to make 3, because I like it, but you can make it as big as you want. You can do 4, 5, how big your kitchen is. You can do even 2 if you think 3 is much too large for my kitchen. So you can make it any way you like. I'm going to get my towel again. I'm going to wipe away the glue. And if you want to be sure later and you don't want to have any spots on your piece, if you're going to wax it, or maybe you do some shoe polish, then you can give it a little light sanding, because or else you get some spots from the wood glue. At least my wood glue gives some spots on the block, so be careful with that. If you paint it, it doesn't matter, and spray paint it, but I'm going to give this a couple of minutes again. See already, I placed 2 of them on the side. I'm going to do some glue and some glue on this one, and we're going to place it together again, the same like we did with the first one. So place them this way and going to squeeze them again, a nice straight line over here, and we wipe away the glue. And of course, number 3 I will do out of camera, because or else you are so bored with all those little pieces of wood. So I'm going to let this rest also a couple of hours, because we are going to need a saw and going to saw them out, but of course they need to dry first. And if you want to make a laugh, of course I will get the first one, and if you see the first one and you see the second one I made, you see already this. And you see already, I thought I counted right, but of course you see already I missed 1 block over here. You see already I did 8 of them. I laid really neatly together, but you see already mistakes are everywhere. Of course I'm going to do some glue on this side and a little on the top over here, and I'm going to place it in, because we're just going to make it simple and a little bit longer. So it doesn't matter, but you see already a mistake is always in a little small corner. So, and the last, and we're going to place it. Now if everything is correctly, we have a straight line again, and we have the right numbers, 3 rows of 9 blocks. But of course I'm old, maybe I can't count anymore. So I'm going to lay them apart. Maybe a lot of you already saw already that I had 8 blocks, and you already were thinking, when does he see it that it's 8 blocks instead of 9? So I'm going to give this one some rest too. See already we have our 3 pieces of wood, and we're going to lay them aside, and they are going to dry for a couple of hours. So I'm going to place them over here, and we are going to do the first of the one of the legs. We are going to make 3 pieces of 3. So very easy, just place them down this way, and of course over here. So we're going to glue them on the longest side. This is already 1, number 2, and number 3 is a closure up over here, 1, 2 and 3, and this is the last 2 and 3 is the closure up. Squeeze them together until one piece over here and over here, and we're going to, like always, wipe away the glue we don't need. It's a little bit more difficult with 3 blocks, because most of the time your piece of towel is always sticking on your blocks. So we're going to place them aside, and we're going to let them rest. What we're going to do, we are going to make not 4 pieces, we are going to 8 pieces of 2. So very easy, you just do the longer side, place them together, longer side, place them together, longer side, and again place them together, longer side, and again place them together, over here longer side, and you place it together. Oh, you see already I'm already stuck to my glue. The longer side, and we're going to place them together also over here. And I have now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not 1. We need 8 pieces of 2, and again the last, and we're going to squeeze them, squeeze it, and again we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. So, and we're going to give this a couple of minutes rest also. So I will wipe away the glue, but give it a couple of minutes. So for the smallest leg we use, of course, like you, if everything is correctly, you have 3 pieces of 3 and you have 8 pieces of 2. What we're going to do, we're going to work with the 8 pieces of 2. We're going to do some glue on the side. We're going to place this one against each other. We do here also some glue on the side. And we're going to place this one over here. And you see already he's still not totally dry, but it doesn't matter. You still can work with it. Of course, some glue over here. And we're going to place it a little over here. And we're going to place it inside. And now we have already a nice, cute little square. We're going to give it a little bit of pressure. And we're going to turn it. And make sure that you have everything in a straight line. And then you're going to let this dry in. And this is already one square. I'm going to do the second one. It's very easy. Just do some glue on the side. You place already one over here. You do some glue on this side. And you place them on the other side over here. And this one you do on the tops over here. And a little on the inside. And then you can place it very easy inside of you already have your square. Because he needs to come out a little bit. And give it a bit of pressure over here. And we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave it a couple of minutes. Of course, it's not totally dry yet. You're going to turn it over. You do some glue on the inside of the square. So over here. This is what I mean, just on the inside. And you place it on one of the blocks of 3. So you place them in the middle. Give it a little bit of pressure from the top. And be sure that you have it in the middle, or else make sure that you work your way until the middle, because it's always nicer if you have it on the middle. I have to go for, yes, I think I have it in the middle. This is already one. We do a second one. Of course, we're going to turn this over and we do some glue on the inside again and place them also in the middle. Give it a little bit of pressure from the top. And make sure that you have it in the middle. Just turn it around when you are satisfied, then it's okay. Because it's your DIY, you have to work with it. So I think I have it already. I give it a couple of minutes and then we're going to place this one in between. So now I do some glue on one on this side. Over here. Go around. And we're going to make sure that we turn it upside down so we can easily see the middle, and we give it some pressure from the top. We're going to move it a little in this way, and we do now some glue on this side over here. And now we can very easily, if I am looking correctly, we are going to place this one upside down over here. So now we have all of them on top of here. Also make sure that you have this one in the middle. If there is some glue coming out, you see already on the underside, just take a brush and just go carefully around the lines, and you see already you can easily get out the glue you don't need, because with a towel it's always hard to get it away. So I always take a brush. And now we already have one of the smallest stand. Now we go for the medium and then we go for the large, but first we already have the smallest one. For the medium we need of course 4 pieces of 3, so it's very easy, just count them on your table. And this is already 3, and now the last is this one. So very easy, we glue them on the sides again and on over here and just place them together. I do it a little faster. And this is already 2, and this is number 3, and the last of course number 4. Squeeze them together again and give them a couple of minutes rest, the same like we did with the other one. So I give it a couple of minutes rest. I wipe away the glue, but you can make all 4 of them, and then you already are having the part for the middle size. You already, our 4 pieces of 3 are drying over here. Now we are going to make sets of 2 again, and we used 8 in the other one, so we are going to use now, I think you already know how much we are going to need. I think we are going to need 12 pieces of 2. So it's very easy. We just count 12 blocks because we need to make a square extra. And that's already, I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I already have my 12 pieces of 2 and I'm going to glue them together. And of course, it's so easy. I do only this one together with you. Don't worry. The large, I always only say the numbers and then you can easily make your own large piece. So I only do this one together. So this is already number 6, number 7, number 8, number 10, number 11. That's not correct. 9, 10, 11. This is number 12. So I can't even count anymore. So I'm going to squeeze them, wipe away the glue, and we're going to let this dry. So now you have already your 4 pieces of 3 and your 12 pieces of 2. And now we're going to make it very easy. I'd only do one together with you. We're just going to make a square again. Do some glue on this side. You place one against this side. You do some glue on this side again, over here. And you're going to place this one over here. And the only thing is to do is some glue on this side and on the inside. And then you're going to place it. Of course, I have to turn it over. This way is better. So we're going to place it in, squeeze it, and give it a little bit of pressure. And we're going to let this dry. And we're going to make the other 3 a little faster. So we have our parts again. We're going to take one of the 3 and we're going to do some glue again, the same like we did with the other one. Do some glue on the inside over here. And you easily place it upside down and place it on top. Give it a little bit of pressure over here and of course also over here. Make sure that you have it in the line you want to have it. And this is already one. We're going to do the other one. We do some glue on the inside. We're going to turn it over and this way give it some pressure again. Over here, this is already a number 3. We're going to place this one and do some glue on the top over here. Of course, I have to look if I have it in the same line. I'm going to turn it over, place it on top of here, give it some pressure again, and I'm going to look that I have it in the middle. Of course, this one, and we're going to give this a couple of minutes and then we're going to place this one in between. So we're going to get the last piece of 3. We're going to do some glue on the first one. Just go around. We're going to get it over here and we're going to place it very easy. Upside down, over here in the middle. Give it some pressure. And turn it around on all sides so you have a nice look. Of course, we're going to do some glue on this one, over here, and again around. And we're going to make sure that we have the lines of the blocks always this way. So we get a nice, then it glues nice and it looks better. Especially if you are going to give it some spray paint or maybe some distressing only. So, and again, squeeze it. And now we're going to do the last, some glue over here on the side and over here. And now we're going to place this one here. This one is also, the blocks are direct this way. And we're going to go again, squeeze it upside down. And again, give it some pressure from the top. And look that you have it in the middle. So all the stages are in the middle. And you see already now you have already size medium. So we have a small, a medium. Now we're going to do the large. And of course, don't worry, don't panic because I won't show you everything. So don't panic. So I will show you now only the numbers of the size large. And you see already here are the numbers for your large size. And this is 5 pieces of 3. And 16 pieces of 2. So this is one of the squares, this is 1, and this is 1, and this is 1. So 16 pieces of 2, 5 pieces of 3. I will going to build them together because or else you get very bored. So I will do this faster. So I have my 4 square pieces and of course I have my 5. I'm going to get one of them. do some glue on the inside, the same like we did with the smaller and the medium size. Again, place them over here and just place them upside down and give it a little bit of pressure. Make sure that you have it in the middle. And we go again. Take one of the blocks, take one of this one, and again go around. And you work all, oh, you see already, I don't have some glue over here. And we're going to turn it over, place it on top of here, give it some pressure. And again, place it over here. We do the next one. Some glue over here. We're going to turn it upside down and again. And this is already number 3. And the last we do some glue around. And we're going to turn this one also upside down. And like this, we give it a couple of minutes rest. Now we take block number 5. We're going to place it over here. We're going to place this, and of course the blocks are this way and this one also. So again, we do some glue over here, so around, and we're going to turn it over this way, and so we can easily find our middle again. And we're going to give it some pressure from the top over here. We do some glue on this one over here and place it next to each other. You see still the direction is this way. Turn it over and place it on top. Give it some pressure again. Make sure that you have it in a straight line, because this one needs a little bit of adjusting. We do here the same. Over here, make a nice simple round. Place it next to each other. Turn it over, and so you always have the lines of your blocks the same direction. Again over here, and now we're going to do the last one. Of course, some glue around, and we place it beside, and you see already always the blocks are rising the same direction. Turn it over and place it on top of here. Give it some pressure, and now you can of course also do a little paint can on top of here, or maybe you have some weights you can place on here so everything dries a little faster. But of course you also can place it next to a heater, then this also will be fine. So I'm going to give it some time to rest, a couple of hours. And here you see already our 3 sizes of our stands. Of course, the small, medium and large. And of course, you can make one extra. You can leave one. You can make them higher. You can do anything you like, but I keep it with this 3. What we're going to do, we're going to connect them together. So we're going to make middle pieces which they can connect. So we place them aside. And we're going to make 4 pieces, and we go with 3 blocks, and of course also here 3 blocks. We do 3 blocks over here and 3 blocks over here. What we're going to do, very easy. On one block we do on this side, and on the other side we do some glue. We place it standing up, we place it in the middle, and we do this one also in the middle. Of course I have to, and then we're going to give it a little bit of pressure and this way, and make sure we adjust it until it is really in the middle, and then we're going to let this dry. I show you in a moment what I mean. So I'm going to place this one up, and I'm going to do some glue on this side again and on this side again. And we're going to place this again in the middle of the 2 blocks. Very easy, just give it some pressure, and we're going to let this dry. I do the rest extra. So now we have our 4 pieces. You see, this is how he's looking like. Try to get it in the middle. It's a little bit harder than I thought. I thought it would be a little bit better, a little more to squeeze. I don't know how I explain it, but this is what I mean. You just try to get it in the middle, but now to get the tricky one, because these 2 are will be connected to each other. So we do some glue on this, and we're going to place them together. So we squeeze the underside, We squeeze the top and then we're going to work with our fingers so we have both of them in the middle, or else your piece is not gluing right. Of course, what I should have done is make 6 pieces of 2 and then do this frame. So don't make the mistake that I do to make them loose like this, but first make 6 pieces of 2, glue them together like so this top is, and then make this kind of shape here for in the middle. And you see where this one needs to come down a little, and we're going to squeeze it and press it together. I will do this one also. So now if everything is correctly, you have 2 pieces like this, and that gives a little bit more structure than you just do simple 2 blocks or 1 block. We're going to place the biggest one, I'm going to place down. What I'm going to do some glue on the underside, on this side and on this side, and of course a little tip over here. Now I'm going to place it, of course I have to think this way, on my block in the middle. So very carefully make sure that you have it in the middle, and you can do it easily because this is 3 blocks and you take just the middle one. Maybe I can show it to you in the camera a little better. And this way, so you place it in the middle. So very easy, give it a little bit of pressure, and the glue which is coming out, you just get your brush and you just simply wipe it away so you don't get too much glue on the outside, because that's not what you want. And we're going to give this at least, now I think, because it still needs to glue very tight, so I would go at least for a half hour. In the meantime, while this one is drying, we're going to take the 3 parts high, we're going to place this down, and we're going to do here the same. So we're going to do some glue on this side, over here, on this side. I have to look for if I am correctly, and I'm going to do a little on this side. So very easy, we are going to place this also in the middle and give it a little bit of pressure over here and just let it dry in also. So now I place the one with the 3 high, I'm going to, the medium size I'm going to place here. I'm going to do this one over here. I'm going to do some glue on here, over here, and a little, just wipe it away, or wipe it out, not wipe it away, but wipe it out. And of course we get the smaller one, and we do on the smaller one, in the, from one of the 3, we're going to do a little bit of glue on the edge over here. So a little dot of glue. So not too much, we're going to place it this way. We're going to do carefully, place this one on top of here, of course, in the middle, and we are going to squeeze them together and give them at least a half hour rest. So you see these 2 are now glued together. Of course it's still vulnerable because it's not totally dry yet, then you have to do it overnight. We're going to do some glue on this side, in over here, and this one, and we do a little bit of glue in the middle over here, because we will hang this one over here. So we're going to place this straight up, and we're going to place it on here, and we're going to give it some pressure, and we're going to let this dry also for at least a half hour until an hour. So in the meantime, while our stand is drying, I'm going to take my 3 pieces, which will be of course the trays. I'm going to turn it over and make the flat side over here. So I'm going to turn this one over. This one is already okay. I use a riser this way, and I'm going to, because I like this size of the round, but you can choose any round you like. Of course, don't go too big, because or else it doesn't fit in on your stand. So you see this one is fitting nicely over here, so I make sure that I have it in the middle. I get my pencil and I'm just going to make simply around my riser, and very easy. I make a thick line because I'm a little bit old, so I I have to see where the line is if I want to use my jigsaw. So again, and you see now we have a nice round. So I'm going to do all 3 of them, and then I'm going to go to my garage and I'm going to cut it out. see here are our 3 rounds we will use as a tray. Of course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift them a little bit up from the stand. So what I'm going to do, I'll place them over here. I'm going to take 3 blocks and I'm going to make a little square. And of course, squeeze them together. I do here the same because I have 3 risers of 3 risers, 3 trays, of course. And I'm going to do another one. So then we have 3 pieces of a 3. Very easy. Just do some glue. And now you can easily raise them a little bit higher than they are right now. And I am loving it that they are a little bit higher. And it gives me a nice marker where I need to glue my round, of course. And again, make sure that you have a straight line. Here the same. And again, give them a couple of minutes drying. So we gave our 3 blocks a couple of minutes. What we're going to do, if you take one of your round, you can easily see that here are 3 blocks, just a nice little square. And we are going to glue them on top of here. So do some glue over here. Just make a nice little square and just place them on top of here. It's so easy because you can find easily the way where they need to be, where the middle is. This is already one. We go for this one the same and we do some glue over here and we place this one on top of here. And again, give it a little bit of pressure over here. And then the last is also very easy. Do some glue and place this one on top of here and give it a little bit of pressure. And again, we let this dry for at least a half hour. Now we have our 3 trays and of course our stand, and I'm going to paint mine in the creamy white color. Of course, choose any color you like. I do the trays and of course the stand separately because it's easier gluing for me later. So I'm going to do first the trays and then the stand. But of course, I will do it a little bit faster because or else it takes much too long for you. And you see already, I have my 3 trays and of course the stand, and I'm going to glue my trays on top of here. And that is now so easy. You just do some wood glue over here and you place it on your little squares on top of here. So you do all 3 of them, let it dry overnight, and then you can decorate it any way you like. And I show you now in a moment the quick impression of how I decorated this 3-tier tray. At least that's what I call it. For this DIY, we need, of course, again, our tumbling tile blocks, our wood glue, or maybe your hot glue. Of course, the paint at your choice. I have here my little container with some scissors, some markers, some brushes, and of course a cutter. And of course, my old piece of kitchen towel, which is wet, so we can wipe away the glue we don't need. So these are the main pieces we need for this DIY. And of course, what we're going to make is a little bit kind of a twist. Of course, it can be turned out as kind of a dresser, kind of a tray. It's a little bit of both. So we will see how this will turn out. The first step, what we're going to do, we're going to make the sides, and the sides will be for the first side, we need 12 pieces of 4. So it is very easy. We just glue them on the top this way. And we're going to do this way. And of course, I have to work with it because the blocks are totally out of line. I don't know what they do the last time with the packages, but it's really, really awful. You see already, one is bigger, one is smaller, one is totally crooked, but we are going to work with it. So this is already number 1, and we're going to do this 12 times. Of course, I don't do 12 times together with you. Don't worry, or else you will run away, and we don't want that, because I hope you enjoy always the step by step. Again, 4 pieces, again, glue together, squeeze it down and lay it in place over here. The rest I do a little bit faster. So you see I have all 12 pieces, and of course they are still not dry, and I'm also not going to let them dry in too much because like maybe a lot of you also have, they are so crooked, all the blocks, at least most of them, and I have to work with it because we don't throw things away. It's really sad always to throw things away. So I'm going to keep it and I'm going to make the best of it. But if I am going to, because I want to have the side of my tea tray, dresser, at least what it will look like. We are going to do the side and it will look a little bit like a house on the top. So the house here in the Netherlands, you see already in Amsterdam, you see already most of the time they go this way, like a stair. So you will see that in a moment. So I'm going to place them all on the sides and I'm going to glue them all together because now I can still readjust them and even get a flat backside. And if you let everything dry in, then it's difficult to readjust it again. So I'm going to start with 2 of the pieces and I'm going to glue some on the top from one block to the other one, over all the 4 blocks this way, and I'm going to place it carefully on the side, and I'm going to place this one carefully on the side, and I'm going to glue this one together. Very easy, like this. Make a nice straight line. This is already the middle piece of our side. Of course, we are going to let it go down in places. So we are going to take 1 block, but we're not going to do it totally on the top. So we're going to start halfway and we're going to do it also halfway over here. So not the whole block, leave a piece open and leave a piece open over here. We're going to place it on the side and we're going to get 1 loose block. And we're going to place it over here and make sure we use it as kind of a measurement. And again, squeeze it and press them together. And you see, we have left over 1 piece. We are going to take for the other side the same. So we're going to do some glue over here. And we stop a little over the number 4. Again, we take this loose block. We're going to get this one, place it on the side. And again, use it as a measurement so you are sure that both of the sides are glued together on the same way. So you see already, the middle piece is already going wider and wider. We're going to again place this one over here and we're going to glue again the same way like we did with the thing, a little over here and a little over here. We're going to get it carefully over here. We're going to place it on the side. And again, use this as a measurement, a loose block, and we already have 1. Again, over here, squeeze it and press it together, and especially press it down. So you always get on the underside, will always be a flat side where we can use for our shells we will use for in between. Again, we're going to place it on the other side, over here. Of course, I have to work a little bit with the space I have. And I have to be careful because it is not dry yet. We're going to do some glue over here and over here. And you see we have our measurement already here. Place it on the side and we're going to place it against each other. Of course, we have to be sure that everything sticks together. And this way we're going to place on the other side again because we work from one way to the other one. And I hope that it gives a nicer look. Again, we do some glue over here and over here. And we're going to place it very carefully over here and squeeze it together. And this way. And we get a nice package of blocks. Of course, it takes a little bit more of your blocks, but the look will be much better if you are do it this way. Of course, you can also use the blocks flat. And you need 16 blocks less, but I don't like the look so much. But if you think this is much too many blocks for me, then you have to go for that one. So again, place it over here. And again, we're going to squeeze it together. And this way. And we're going to place this one on the other side. We're going to do this one over here. Wipe away the glue we don't need. And And we're going to place this one. And I know for some people this is maybe a little bit boring, but I always do it also for the people who love to see how I make the DIYs. So again, place it over here. And you see already, it's already starting a little bit to look like the top of a house. Again, squeeze it. And again, measure out. Yes, I am right. I'm going to do it for this one. And again, we're going to wipe away the glue, or else we get one big mess. It takes a little bit more of your time, but you afterwards you will be you will be happy. See here again also, and you get a little bit a nicer workspace. Most of the time I always glue everything under, but I'm trying not to do on camera to glue everything under. And you see, we're going to do this one. We are almost there. We're going to place it on the side, place our block, and we're going to glue it together. Very easy. And again, press it down like we all press the blocks down, because we want to have on the back side a flat space like this. And now we're going to do for this one, and we are almost there because we are already busy with the last blocks. And again, a row over here. And we're going to place this one over here. And place it together. Measure out, real nice. And especially if you measure out this way for the second one, is also very easy to make. Now I hope I get it off my mat. And we're going to do some glue over here. And we're going to take this one, place it over here. And we're going to place it straight up this way. And we're going to press it against each other. And now we already have one of our sides, and this one we are going to let dry, of course, a little bit longer. But now, because the glue was not totally dry in, we can very easily work with it and press everything down this way. And then we can leave it for at least, I think it's better, a couple of hours. This way. And now we're going to go for number 2. And before we go further with the rest of our DIY, of course, I also give you, for everyone who uses the smaller blocks, the sides also, what's in between, it's very easy to make, but the sides will be 6 blocks like this in a row, glue them on the tops and make one nice line of 6 blocks. And you do this 12 times. So you also need 12 rows of 6 blocks, and then you do the same. The first 2 you glue really together, just like I did with mine, and then you use a smaller block also as a measurement, place it in between, and then glue them together. Always glue a little bit over here until over here. So, and then you get the same kind of a houses like we have here in Amsterdam. So, and you make 2 pieces of this one also, like I am going to make 2 pieces of the bigger blocks, and then we all have the same sides. So, and I'm going to make the second side of our DIY. And what I'm going to do, of course, for everyone who uses now the smaller blocks and loves maybe to use also the bigger blocks, go to the description box down below, and there you find a kind of a tips where you can find the bigger blocks. So go ahead, check it out. You will find it on this channel, all about Christmas, but also on our main channel, Deco Easy. So check it out. I'm going to make, of course, again, 12 pieces of 4, but I won't bore you with that. Don't worry, don't walk away. I will make them first. And you see already I have my 12 pieces again. What I'm going to do, you see already I have a couple of them with the brand on top. Each package has one of them with the brand of it from the wood where it's made. Of course, we don't want to see it, so we use already this tool already for gluing together for the middle piece. And we're going to do it this way, and I'm going to carefully place it on the sides because it is not dried in yet, but it doesn't matter if it's not totally dried because it dries later. And again, we're going to do, and if you also have a marker in your package, make sure that he's not on top, on the bottom, because or else you can see it on the top a little piece, or you see it on the bottom of your size, and that's not what you want. So make sure that you work them away in the inside. So like I do, I'm going to do some glue on here, this way until here. I'm going to get my, of course, my measurement, like 1 block. I have to work with them. I have to place them aside and this way. And I'm going to place this one on the side. Make sure that we have our loose block over here, and then we're going to place it over here, squeeze it, and now we're going to place it on the other side this way. We do some glue on this one over here, but I think you already know how it is made. This way I'm going to do it over here and squeeze them very carefully together, and also place them down. Don't forget to place, you see already, this is, if you place it down, it goes down, but you see already how much different in sizes there is in this kind of blocks. I don't know how it is. Sometimes I have blocks where I buy them. They are really such a great piece of wood. But the last time is so bad. But like I said, we are going to work with it. It's only $2.99 from 60 blocks. So you can't say a lot about that, but at least not for here in the Netherlands. And we're going to place it aside. I'm going to do it a little higher this way and press it down. And we go to the other side again, because we go even up, and we're going to wipe away the glue. Again, place it over here. We're going to do some glue on this one over here. And we're going to place it on the side. And we're going to measure out. And we're going to glue it again. And this way. And I'm going to go on and on and on until it is done. But I won't, again, I will not bore you with the second one. So this will go a little bit faster. So we have our 2 sides laying to dry, so they are resting in at least a couple of hours. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make 12 blocks this way and next to each other. Very easy this way. And I'm going to glue them on the sides. Again, so this one, and just make one long row out of it. And this is number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10, and number 11, and number 12 will be the closure up again. Squeeze it and press them together and make a nice straight line like this. And of course it's not totally straight line because the blocks are not the same size, but we're going to do with it. Again, we have 12 blocks. And we're going to do the same, because this will be the back side of our experiment. It is a dresser. It's not really a dresser. It's not really a tray. I really don't know what it is, but you can name it. You can give a nice name for it. And I'm going to do the last blocks and this one. And if you are going to make one of your own, maybe you like it also to show me what you made, and of course also on our other channel what Dyanne and I can see. So you can always email us. This is of course all about Christmas NL, and of course we call it apenstage, but I don't know how you call it in English. It's Gmail. But you will find it in our description box. Again, wipe away the glue. You don't need this way, because Also, we would love to see what you make, because we all are amateurs and we just do what we like and show what we like. So, and I'm always really happy to see also what you are going to make. So I'm going to let this rest in for a couple of minutes. So we have our 2 pieces of 12, and of course I'm going to do very lightly. I'm going to place it on the side. I'm going to do some glue on the side. Oh, you see already. Do it on top of it and not next to it like I do. You see already, it's already coming out. And we're going to place it very carefully. It doesn't matter if it breaks, because you still can redo it, make it like one nice piece. And that's what the greatest, if you don't let it dry up totally, and you can even redo it. You see already he has still need to come over here and make a nice straight line, as straight as you can. And see already these 2 are really small, and I'm still debating if I am not taking them out. I think I'm going to take them out. You don't have to do it, but they are really small. So I'm going to try to do again these 2, and I hope that they are fitting a little bit better before I'm going to glue them. So I'm going to let this dry in a moment. And of course, I told you just earlier for our email address, of course, it is at gmail.com. So all about Christmas NL at gmail.com. And of course, with Deco Easy is decoeasynl at gmail.com. So now you also have the right mail address. And of course, you find it in our description box. In the meantime, this is drying. Of course, if you use the smaller blocks for the back side, I would go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 blocks in a row. And I will do them 3 times and then glue them together. So you get 3 rows of 17 blocks, and that will be the back sides. It will be in between your kind of houses you made on the side. Of course, 17, 17, 17, glue it together, let it dry. So in the meantime, is our back side is drying. We are going to make the bottom, and that's very easy. We are just going to glue 4 pieces of 4 together. So on the sides, place them together, this one. And of course, number 4 will be the closure up. Make a nice straight line. Make sure that everything is down. And we're going to do here the same. And we do this 3 times. Of course, we don't do it 3 times. We do it 4 times, if I am correctly. I think I have 3 here, but we are going to make it 4 times. And we're going to squeeze it together this way. And make sure that, again, we have a straight line. We're going to do this one. And you see already, if you are looking very correctly, you see already that if I would place them together, I would have a space left over here. You see, this will be the bottom where we can place things on. And if you would place them together this way, you see already we are coming some short. So you see, if we have 3 pieces and we would glue them together, you see already a little gap over here. So what means that I still need another piece of 4. So you need 4 pieces of 4 to make 16 in total, and then you can glue them together. And we're going to do this one, and of course the last one, and we're going to place this one again as the closure up. Again, squeeze it, press it, and make a nice straight line. And we're going to let this 4 dry in for a couple of minutes. So all 4 of them are dried in a little. I'm going to do some glue on the sides so we can make 1 piece out of it. Again, on this side also, place it together very carefully. And we're going to do this one. And we're going to squeeze them together until 1 straight little plank, of course. And again, work away the spaces in between as much as you can. And this way. And we're going to let the bottom also dry in for a couple of minutes. So you see, we have now the back side and we have already the bottom. And now we're also going to make the top the same way like we do the bottom. So I'm going to lay the back side apart and I'm going to make again 4 pieces of 4, and the same like we did with the other one. You just make 4 blocks and you're going to glue them together this way. And number 4 is always the closure up, squeeze it, press it in a straight line, and then you already have your first piece. And I'm going to make 4 of them, but a little bit faster. So you see already the top and the bottom are already finished. If you use the smaller blocks, you need again 17 blocks in a row, and you need to make 2 rows of 17 and glue them together. This will be the bottom, and you need to make the same one again 2 of 17 for the top. So again, 1 of 17, 2 of 17, glue them together, and you have already the same bottom like I have. You do this one again, and you also have the top again. So then if you do 17 blocks, you have the right measurements. So I have my backside, bottom, top, and I'm going to make now 4 pieces of 4. I don't know if I'm going to use them. You will see later if I am going to use it or not, but we're going to make them. It's only 4 blocks, so we are going to do 4 blocks this way to give it later a little bit of a high-end look, but I have to look for if everything is fitting quite nice. So we're going to do 4 blocks together this way, and we're going to squeeze it and press it down. This is 1, and we're going to make a second one. We need 2. So very easy, just 2 pieces of 4. And of course, most of the time I will use it, but I keep one little opening if I am not going to use, if it doesn't fit the way I have it in my head, because always everything is in my head, but I never made one, so I always have to look for it, everything works together. And this is already number 2. We are going to let both of them dry in, because we are going to use them later. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to make for the bigger blocks, I'm going to make a kind of a little drawer, but I don't know if you can, if you use the smaller blocks, you have to work a little bit with it, and you have to make it just very easy. I'm going to do 4 blocks for the bigger blocks, and I think you can also use 4 or 5 blocks for the smaller blocks. But of course you have to measure it out a little, but not everyone is liking a drawer. This is just extra what I do. So this is already number 1. This will be the bottom. I'm going to make another one like this, and that will be a top, but you see that later. First we do again 4 pieces like this. This is number 1, number 2, number 3. And of course this is the closure up, and we're going to squeeze it, press it down, and we're going to let this 2 also dry in for a couple of minutes. So now I have here my 2 pieces of 4, and again for the drawer itself, we are going to do again also 4 pieces of 4 like this, ook in this same direction glued, and this way, and squeeze it and press it together. You see already how off the line is of my blocks. You see here so many openings, but we're still going to work with it. And later, if it is painted, you almost don't see it anymore. So don't worry about it. Everyone has the same problem, and it's always a DIY always has also to go with obstacles. So this will be just a simple obstacle, but we do our best. So I'm going to finish them off. I'm going to make 4 pieces, and I do it a little bit faster than this. You see already, I'm have to, you see, flying blocks. You see already, and I have to do this one and this one over here, and again, a straight line. And I'm going to make the other 2 a little bit faster. So you see already 6 pieces of 4, and I hear you thinking, why didn't she tell me just make 6 pieces of 4? That would be a lot easier. It is. It is. But I was thinking about the bottom and the top and then the sides. But the sides are also 4. So you can easily make 6 pieces of 4, and then you have all the pieces you need. What we're going to do, we are going to look for the bottom. We are going to place this aside. We're going to do this one on top because we're going to do it this way. Not this way, but this way. We are going to place this one up. We're going to place this one up. We're going to place this one up. And of course this one. So and we're going to do very easy. We're going to place this one in between, and if everything is correctly, if I have it correctly, it is fitting inside, and it is. So we are going to do it very easy. We place this down and we only do some glue on this side and on this side. Be careful because your glue is still not totally dry. And on this side, and even when it falls apart, it is not a real problem. You just glue it together again. Don't worry about it because everything will work out fine. So we place this straight up. We're going to place this one over here. We're going to place this one over here. And we're going to do this one straight up. And we make a nice, it's almost a square, not totally, almost. And we're going to work a little bit with our fingers to make a nice, simple, straight line on each side of our little box. And again, we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So I did let it dry in a couple of minutes. I'm going to turn it around on my hand. I'm going to do some glue, a little in the inside. At least I try to do it on the inside, over here. So not too much glue is coming out. I'm going to turn it over very easily and just place it on top of the other one of 4. And again, make a nice straight line. And I make one little drawer, but there is room for 3 of this one. So if you want to have more drawers inside of the opening, then you can do 3. But I'm going to go for this one for 1, because I want to have more decorations. And of course, this is not a Christmas DIY, this is a seasonal DIY. So you see here also on this channel, it's of course, the title is all about Christmas, but it is, but also we do seasonal decor. So this is already one, and this will be the lid on top like this. But of course, we don't want that the lid is falling off of moving around. So I'm going to get one block and I'm going to place it over here in the middle. So I'm sure that my lid is not falling off. So very easy. And make sure that you have it in the middle and that he's fitting very nicely inside of here. So I just was thinking, I don't like it if the people with the smaller blocks can make the little drawer. Of course, I did only my measurement. If you have better measurement for making the little drawer inside, I am going to, if I would make it, I would go for 7 blocks for the bottom and glue them together. It's 14 blocks, so 7, 7. You need to make this one 2 times because you also need the same like I have a lid for on top if you want to have a close it up. You need here 6, 6, and of course glue together, 6, 6, glue together, and do this 2 times. This is a side, and on the other side will be a side. Then you have 1 of 6, and you also need 2 times this one for 1, because he will be over here, and this one will be over here, and you need the same one on top, and then you also have a lid. And just place a couple of blocks on the inside of your lid, and then you also have a little box you can place inside of your opening for your, it is not a dresser, it's not a tea tray. You can call it, I also, when I was looking at it, it also looks like a little bench we have here. Our churches are also having this kind of sides of our bench, so of a bench where you are sitting on. So it's a lot of purposes this time, but very easy. 2 of this one of 7, 2 of this one of 6, and 2 of this one of ankle 6. So then you have already your own little drawer also. So if everything is correctly, we all have the same pieces. Of course, the small blocks and the bigger blocks, it doesn't matter. You also have 2 of this one. You have, if everything is correctly, you have 2 of this one. You have 2 of the bottom and the top. And you have 1 as a back side. And of course, everyone who made a little box, you also have a little box. So what we're going to do, because we're going to glue it together right now, and I'm going to think which is the best way to tell you. So if you have a little moment, of course, you don't have to wait that long. So the easiest way I can tell you is simply just place the back side on the over here, just flat on your mat. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue on this side, over here, this way. I'm going to do it on the side. Of course, it will run off a little. Don't worry about it. Just give yourself some grace. It doesn't matter. We're going to place it over here on the top. Make sure that you have a straight line over here and one over here, and give it a little bit of pressure so it stands on his own. A little bit like this, and of course he can fall down. Don't worry about it. Of course, I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to do on the sides, and I don't even see what I'm doing. You can see already. It will be one big mess, but it doesn't matter as long as the result is fine. Of course, on the other side we do some glue, and we're going to place this one also on this side of the back side of your little dresser drawer, just whatever you think is right. And now what we're going to do, we make sure that these pieces, our little houses, that the tops of the ending is on the same side of your mat. So you always have your feet of your sides on the ground. So measure out, make sure that the ending of your mat is the same by both of the legs. And we are going to place this one a little bit down and make sure where you want to have it. I think I'm going to have it over here. Then I'm going to place my pieces together. And of course, I want to be sure that everything is fitting very nicely. So this must be the same and this must be the same. And now I'm going to keep it together until it is a little bit dried in. And it takes a long time, but not for you. It doesn't for you. I will cut this off. You see, this is a little bit dry in, and we are not supposed to forget, of course, the pieces of 4. And I would use them on the underside over here, just to give it a little bit of a high ending look. So I'm going to do some glue over here, and this way. And a little on the sides over here and on this side. So filling it in. And of course, be careful, just place it on here. And make sure that you have a nice straight line. And this way. Over here, this is already number 1. And you can do the same on the top. If you like it, if you don't like it, it's also fine too. So I'm going to look for it and I'm going to give it on the top. So again, do some glue over here, this way. And I'm going to do a little over here and here. And I'm going to place it to give it a little bit of a boarding over here. And again, squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to let this rest also. And here you see already a little bit the result. Of course, we are going to paint it right now, and you see a little the sides over here, and I'm so happy how he turned out. Of course, I'm going to give it a color. I'm going to give, oh, he's already very heavy. I'm going to give it a sand color, but of course give it any color you like. And of course I also give my little drawer and the same color, so he's fitting nicely inside of here. So I'm going to do it very easy, and of course I will not waste your time with some painting skills, because I think you already can paint your own little piece. So I do it a little bit faster. And here you see the pieces I just painted. Of course, our, I don't know really what it is. I was thinking also, if you like a bench, you also can leave the top, this top, and of course the front side, leave it out and do this front side on the back side. Then you have a nice bench. So if you are more into a bench, I will show it to you a little bit closer. Just leave the top out and just do this one on the back side. So the same way like this one, and do it on the back side. Then you have a nice bench, and do this a little bit higher, a little bit halfway. Then you have already also a bench with this kind of side, and I am really loving it. maybe I make something like that in the future for myself. You never know. And of course, my little drawer. And if you are more like a glam lady and you like more gold or silver, just spray paint it in the gold or the silver. Don't let the color of this discourage you, because if you give it the spray paint in the gold and the silver, you even don't recognize it anymore. So go ahead and give it a try. Of course, I have here my little drawer, and I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't make 3, but maybe I will make them extra, because you can also have 3 in them. I have here a little wooden piece, and of course this was from the fall series, and the fall series was from wooden pieces, and this must be a mushroom. So it does, yeah, it looks a little bit like a mushroom, and I'm going to use it as a knob on the front over here. And I'm going to, of course, if you have more drawers, you need more of them. So I'm going to glue this on top. So of course I need to have this side because I like this one better. I'm going to do a little bit of glue over here. And I'm going to place it over here like this, and I'm going to let this dry in. So our piece is drying right now, and of course I am going to leave it a couple of minutes before I'm going to place it straight up, and you see in a moment the quick impression. You see already on the table are the things again what we need for this DIY. We need, of course, the tumbling tile blocks, but the smaller blocks. Of course, the container with everything inside, some brushes, some scissors, cutters, and some twine, some mud pots, and of course the wood glue. You can use some hot glue for this DIY, but as I don't know how the DIY is really turning out, I would always recommend use the wood glue. It can be easy, just a simple cheap brand. Of course, some paint at your choice later, and of course we need our saucer with a piece of old kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. And like I told you, it is a little bit still Christmas in July, but we are going to make something, of course, you can use for all seasons. But I have something in my head, but I really don't know how it will turn out, and I really don't know how exactly I want to have it. So always have 4 until 5 packages laying around in your home, then you can make every DIY we made. So we're going to start with 5 rows of 3. So, and again, we're going to take the longer side, we're going to glue them together in 1 row. So very easy, and this will be 1 block. And of course, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with the block, but I have something in my head, but I really don't know if this will work out or not, or maybe I only use it as decor piece. So we're going to squeeze it together like this and make 1 straight line. And also over here, squeeze it together and make this in 1 piece. And you just feel with your fingers, and then it's so easy just to make 1 a straight line, because it's just with your fingers. If nothing is sticking out, you have 1 straight line. So I'm going to give this a couple of minutes. So I gave it a couple of minutes, and I'm going to lay them in the same direction. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue over here, place this on top, do it over here, place this on top, again over here, and the last, and place this on top. We're going to place it down, and we're going to squeeze it and make sure that we get a nice square. And you see already I have 1 block which is a little bigger, or the other one is a little smaller. So I'm going to take it away, and I'm going to look for if this one, yeah, this one really is a little lower. So I'm going to go for this one and this, because I need to have the square totally in a square. So again, we're going to let this dry in at least for a half hour. The first one is drying over here, so we're going to make a very easy a small one, and I did 5 times 3, but you can use also of make a bigger one, so you don't have to make a small one. You can make it as big as you want, but this is already 15 blocks, so if you don't want to waste too much blocks, then I wouldn't go bigger. But if you don't mind and you have blocks enough, then it's maybe you can make it bigger. But I hear from a lot of friends, me included, it's very hard to get the blocks, so, and especially also for the prices. So Monique, I feel with you, like I told you, because here in the Netherlands the prices are also going up and up. So it's not only there with you, Monique, but it's also here in the Netherlands. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the time. Maybe wood is expensive. I don't know. But like a lot of people say, what isn't expensive nowadays? But it is. A lot of things are more expensive than it was. But I think everyone has the same problem. But if you can buy them at the Dollar Tree, that would be great, because they are much cheaper and they have more in a package. Over here, and I'm going to make sure that I have everything in this what I always do: wipe it clean, turn it over, and again do another one. So I always keep my blocks as clean as possible, especially if you want to paint it and spray paint it. And if you want to spray paint it, always do some sanding over it. So I'm going to give this a couple of minutes. So, and also with this one, we're going to place it in a straight line. We're going to do some glue, place it on top. And we do here, you just build it up and make sure that on each block is a little bit of glue. And this one. And we're going to place it on the side and give it some pressure. And over here and over here. And make sure that you get it as in a square as you can. But sometimes the blocks are like as you saw already with this one. Not all the blocks are having always the same size. So we work with it what we can. So this is already number 2. Now we're going to do the other step. So you see already the next step will be 3 rows of 6. So again, also this one, we're going to row them together. Very easy, the same like we did with the other one. At least if my blocks are working with me. And so far I have it in my head. So the rest will be just improvisation, just to see where we can get, because I really have no idea. So I had my blocks, I had my layers. I'm going to do a kind of a shells, because this will, you can use as organization, you can use it for a decoration, you can use it for anything, but this is how far I did get. So the rest will be just made up at the moment. So we will see how this will turn out. And you say, she's totally crazy. And that's correct. That's not really something that's unfamiliar for me. But I am always loving to make and see where it brings me. We're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So again, we have 6 blocks, 3 rows of 6 blocks again on the table, because we're going to make blanks, but we're going to make 4 in total. So we're going to do, this is the second one, and of course I do number 3 and number 4. I will do a little faster, and of course not on camera, because or else you get very bored, and that's not what we want. Because for some people the step by step is already a little bit too long, but that's just our channel. Our channel is always step by step, so everyone can make it. And I'm going to squeeze it. Also over here, squeeze. And the last one. And then we already have almost number 2. So again, we lay them in the same direction. Place 2 of them on the side. And we're going to give it some glue. And we roll them easily together, just like we did with the first one. Again, give it some pressure to fill in the open gaps, because we don't like open gaps, at least not too much. So we're going to give it a little bit of, make sure, feel with your fingers that everything has a straight line. So this is number 2, and like I told you, number 3 and 4 I'm going to do faster. So you see already on my table are again 5 pieces of 3. If everything is correctly, you have right now 4 pieces of this one, 3 times 6 blocks, and you have this 4 times. And of course you have 2 times a block, and kind of a square, but I want to have 1 extra because I think I need 1 extra. I just want to need extra, 1 extra. So I'm going to make another one. I'm going to place them together, and this is number 2 and number 3. And you see already I make a lot of mess with my glue already. It's always the same. And this is number 5. And again we're going to squeeze them, give them a couple of minutes, and then we're going to place them on top of each other again. So again, and like I told you, we do it the same. Just do some glue, place them on top, and over here, and this one, and the last, and we're going to place it down, and we're going to give it some pressure, and we feel with our fingers that we have everything nicely until a nice square like this. And we're going to let this dry also. So the next step will be, we have 4 blocks and 4 blocks here. What we're going to do, we're going to glue this longest line. We're going to place this one over here. We glue again a long line, and we're going to place this one in here. And if everything is correctly, you only need to glue this side and a little on the inside. And if everything is correctly, he is fitting inside, and you have a nice cute little square with a little opening in between. And this is one. We're going to do the second one, do some glue on the line, place it down on this side, you do some glue on this one, and you place it on the inside over here again. And now you only need some glue on the longest line and also on the inside at the ending over here. And of course I have to turn it or else it doesn't fit. And now we're going to place this inside, and everything is glued nicely together, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest and wipe away the glue. So now I'm going to get one of my blocks. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this one over, do some glue on the inside around the opening. We're going to place it in the middle over here and give it some pressure, and make sure that you have it in the middle. And we're going to let this dry in at least for a couple of minutes before we're going to do the other side. So if everything is correctly, you have now, you see, this is how first one is turning out. We get another one of the blocks. We're going to get this one. We do some glue on the inside around the rounding. So very easy. And we're going to place it this way. I have to look for where I have this one over here. And we're going to give it some pressure, and over here. And we're going to let this dry also. And in the meantime, while this is drying, we're going to get 4 blocks again. And again, another one of 4. And we're going to make 2 of them extra because we need on the underside. So we do 1 over here. And of course, I only make 1. The other one I will do out of camera. So, and another one over here. And the last over here. And on the inside. And we place it easily in between, and you already have your first square. So I'm going to give it some pressure, and I do the other one a little faster. So you see, now we have this two, and we have already the new ones. We're going to turn this upside down, and we are going to do some glue on the inside of our piece, and we're going to place this one over here. We do here the same, and we place this one over here, and we're going to give it a little bit of pressure, of course, the same like we did with the other ones. And again, And we're going to let this rest at least for a half hour, because later we're going to use it make shelves. So we waited a half hour for this too. Of course, I'm going to get one of my planks. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this one upside down. I'm going to do some glue around the round, and I'm going to place this totally to the back side over here in the middle, and feel with your fingers that you have it straight in the middle. And feel, and like I said, if you feel with your fingers it's smooth, it is fine. So, and then we're going to let this dry at least also a half hour. So this one is drying. I get my little plank number 2. I'm going to do again some glue on the underside, and I'm going to place it to the back side also over here with this one. I have to look if I have it in the same line. I don't. I need to dry to turn it over, and this way, and I'm going to give it some pressure and make sure that the back side is smooth, and we're going to let this dry also. So again, because we have 4 shelves of at least the bottom and 3 shelves above, he will be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to do, I have 2 already finished. I have here my last block, and I have here my 4. So I make 2 little squares also for this one, and I'm going to glue them on top of here also, but I do this a little faster. So now we get our shelf again. We're going to turn it upside down. We're going to do some glue under here, and we're going to place this one also to the back side. The same. Oh, I have to turn this one also again. I still am every time I place it in the wrong side, and then you can see it. The line is not the same, and I always want the lines the same. So I'm going to let it rest also for a half hour. So now if everything is correctly, you have 3 of this one, and you have only left over 1 of this one. What we're going to do now, we're going to build them together, and that's always a little bit tricky because we don't want that is falling down. So we are going to place this one over here. I'm going to turn this one, and I'm going to place this also on the back side of this plank. And of course, feel with your fingers, give it some pressure. And again, keep it in place for a little moment until it sucks in. Of course, you can also place some heavy, a little weight on top of here to give it some pressure. You see already, I placed some weight on top of here. I buy this kind of weights always in the thrift store. I like them in my decor, but they are also very handy to have for your DIYs because they are more small and compact. So I can easily let it dry also. So this is to give it some heaviness. I'm going to place this one over here, and I'm going to do now the other 2 on top of each other. What we're going to do now, we're going to do for this one also some glue on the top. And this one is much trickier than the other one because we can't turn it over, because or else it will be only standing on this side, and that's not really great. So we are going to go for this one. So we're going to make sure that we have it in the middle. And we're going to go to the ending, and we're going to feel with our fingers that we have it in a straight line, and we're going to give it some pressure. And of course, we're going to give it a couple of minutes, but you also can place a little weight on top. You don't see it, but I see it. I see it. So don't worry. It is standing on top of here. So I'm going to keep it in place for a little moment until it is a little dried in. So I placed you a little bit closer to me. I don't, normally I won't do that. I promise. So you see, this is how the first stage is turning out. And now we also have one loose one. If everything is correctly, you have the same like I have. Now we only need to glue this one on top of this one over here. It will be a small piece, but it will be a larger piece. So not very wide, so you can place it in small spaces. But of course we need to glue this one still on top of here. So I'm going to do some glue. But first what I'm going to do is do my weight of 2 kilo. I'm going to place over here so I'm sure that he stays steady. Of course I'm going to do this on top because I want to be sure that he is gluing nicely. And now I'm going to turn this one around, and I have now the side to me which one I need. Of course I place you a little bit closer. Here you are. You are so out of line as McCam, but it doesn't matter. The only important thing is that you see what I can do. Of course we're going to get this piece. I show you this piece. We're going to glue on top of here and also in the middle and at the ending. So very easy. We're just going to place it over here, keep it in place for a little moment. And what I'm going to do, if I have it in the place I want to have it, I'm going to get one of my kilo weight and I'm going to place it on top, totally on top. So be careful that it doesn't fall down, because or else your table has really a big hole inside. So that's not what you want. So that's why I'm going to place it over here, and I'm going to let this dry in now for at least an hour. So I placed it a little bit backwards, and of course you don't see now the total of our shelf cupboard. I don't know how you really call this, but at least it are some shelves you can decorate or organize with. Maybe you can do it in a craft room, maybe with some little pieces on top of here. I have here now my wooden half beads. It's not really a bead because half round. They are from wood. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place on each corner, I'm going to do one of them to give it a little bit more like a high-end look, because now it's totally, everything is flat and doesn't have any texture. So I'm going to go for this one, give it a little bit of pressure, of course do some glue over here, and I'm going to go around all the corners of our shelves and make sure that they stick nicely. So you see already I have now my little beads of little half wooden rounds. I call them every time beads, but of course you will also have them in beads, but you have little holes inside. But of course this one is closed. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give mine a creamy color, but choose any color you like. So I'm going to paint this all in the same color. You see already I have him now laying down, and you see already he is long but he is small, so he's very easy for small spaces to decorate. So I'm going to get my creamy color, and I'm going to paint all the undersides. So I did paint it the underside now of our shelves, and of course now I'm going to turn it around. I did on the underside I also did 4 felts. I always do on every DIY piece which is standing. I always do some little felts under it to make sure that my table is not scratching. So I'm going to turn it around, and then I only need to paint the top side. So in the meantime, while our shelves are drying, I have here some, it's a wire with some leaves on top of here. I can show it to you a little bit closer. You can find this really anywhere. I bought it in a garden center, but you can use it, you can buy it on Temu, you can buy it on AliExpress, you can buy it anywhere, probably in every store. So I'm just going to get out a little piece, because I'm going to go in between over here. I'm going to here and there both. And you, of course, you don't see what I'm doing over here. I have 3 pieces of this one open here, and I'm going to make kind of a wreath, because for me it's a little bit kind of like a Christmas inspiration, but for you, you can do some fall wreath, you can do some daily decor inside of it. Do whatever you think is right. So of course I'm going to go and I do a couple of rounds, and then I'm going to cut it off over here. And I'm going to make such an easy little wreath like this over here. Of course, I'm going to turn it in each other, and we're going to place it on top of here. So I place my shelf down, and what I'm going to do, I have here my 3 wreaths, and of course I'm going to glue them on here. And I do the underside, I do some glue because I want to have them a little bit higher. So I'm going to do on the underside some glue, and there I'm going to glue mine. Of course I place it over here, and I place my wreath inside and keep it in place for a little moment until everything is dried up. Of course, it's a little bit of a task, and like I told you earlier, you don't have to do this. You can do anything you like. So I'm going to work with it. And of course, I'm going to do here the same. Just do some glue and place your wreath under here and over here, and we're going to give it a couple of seconds. Or we give it a couple of seconds, not we gave it a couple of seconds, but of course I have to get away of my glue with my finger. And I'm going to do the last one. Also some glue in the middle on the underside. And I'm going to place, you see already I have a lime thread over here. And I'm going to place this one also over here. And keep it in place for a little moment. And now we already have our 3 wreaths on top. And how easy was this to make? Now you don't have to give more Christmas touches to it. You can do anything like it. But you see in a moment how I decorated my shells.